Genesis of Spiritual Sciences. Of Marvels of Yogic Science. Wonders of Yogic Engineering. Life of MahaYogi, Yoga Drishtra. Adi Guru Shri Lalaji Maharaj's view about reading of spiritual texts. Cleanse your manas, mind, with practice of sadhana and then go through literature. Otherwise, reality will be lost upon you. Fusion, and fusion. Fusible matter helped to achieve the fusion, that too achieving nuclear fusion of life and living. The fissile is the nature of life to achieve fusion, in the hands of Yoga Brahman, He ultimate, and to emerge an evolver, MahaYogi, absorbing yogic science and yogic engineering, transforming the energies emerged out of the yogic process. Fusion and fission of energies is the personality of yoga. By the God of yoga and source of yoga, Ramchandra of Shahjahanpur, Ramchandra of Fatehgarh, the divine light, UP India, made the event to happen and transformed it as phenomena, and MahaYogi was born. The 19th of March, Yoga Drishtra. They named as Raghavendra Rao, by their holy parents, pure pristine pearl of yogic wisdom. Presented to the posterity, only to release and issue forth, the spiritual renaissance, as great gift of God to the mankind, so as to remain forever as everlasting gift amidst them. By the divine light, and Yoga Brahman. 1. Melm of supplications of mine, mutely, of meek, at thy lotus feet. 2. The yogic science of Raj Yoga was born in India 72 generations prior to Raja Dasaratha of Surya Vansh dynasty, who achieved the peak and pinnacle with his self-endeavor, the source, the center, and became He source of yoga, who gave the term Raj Yoga, and found the same power of the center is present in the human being in the form of thought power, and deduced in his thinking that it could be utilized to find solution, a thorough solution to the problem of life, and he structured it in such a way so as it could help the mankind. That knowledge was stored and it was preserved only with one intention, to help the posterity of mankind. He was swimming in the central region, being mostly attached to the center itself. 3. He found out that the motion or stir of some power from beneath the center brought the present world into existence. The stirring thought is in other words called Upadan Karan, or Kshobh. This power he named it as thought power, and he found its power is unlimited. And it is kingly thing in us. Hence the process of using is called Raj Yoga. And with it, he started training, steering us to our goal. 4. The divine light graced and smearing of this planet with the divine grace, taken place on Basanta Panchami day of 1873. The day and date is the 2nd of February 1873 at Farrukhabad, UP India. A nature's prodigy, and named as Ramchandra, and his visit is strictly restricted to the planet Earth. Only to upliftment of mankind, out of oppression, out of darkness, which is his child's play, and he was awakened to the divine conscious while he was playing with his mates. When awakened, adjusted accordingly his life, and he realized himself and to equip himself for the greater task ahead, and realized and attained perfection in only 7 months, really an unparalleled example. 5. With him dawned the new era of yogic training through transmission, Parnasya Pranha, of which he was the master. Birth of Tarna's missions heralded an era itself. 6. With the help of thought power transmission, the training module was etched out, and with this way, he made it possible that a man could attain perfection in one life only, while leading a family life in Grahastha Ashram, by simplifying the methods of spiritual training to a great extent and adjusted them to suit the requirement of the time. Among his innumerable researches in the spiritual field, one is given under the head of Central Region, in the book of Efficacy of Raj Yoga in the Light of Sahaj Marg. 7. Brahman, the ultimate in human form. Read, studied, reached and mastered and traversed the entire distance of and up to the ultimate and expressed it as 3 regions: the region of heart, the mind region, the central region and the center, and by way of stages of power 13 knots with 64 points of concentrated power centers, after which, the final state, and the journey. He named it as towards infinity, and when asked for explanation of them he took the help of philosophy and named it as the philosophy of Sahaj Marg, and when inquired about the vibrations he expressed his direct perception, which depends upon the study of nature, which was revealed by means of vibrations, and further cautioned that it is not only difficult but almost impossible to express them adequately in words. 8. True love cannot be expressed by words. This is the very reality which is inexplicable in any way. 9. And he said it that as reality at dawn. 10. The God, the Brahman, the ultimate chosen, the Mother Earth for his presence, and Mother Earth fusion out her essence of elements of primordial elements to support and form as human form, and he further chosen the process of human birth, and for such command the Mother Earth has to choose and select a right parentage, place and time, and she was successful and succeeded, and parentage was selected. The date is carved in. It is the 30th of April 1899, and the place is Shahjahanpur, UP, India, and is named after God only, in who is Maryada Purushottam, Raja Ram Chandra of Ayodhya, of Surya Vansh dynasty, and Namankit hua as Ram Chandra, of Kayastha family. 11. By practicing meditation on human form, of the divine light, he is manifested himself in the image of the divine light, and he declared it to the world as a declaration. And this declaration, he named it as Sahajma, and this is the secret he opened to the mankind. The form worship, that human form worship, is named as Sahajma, and that form should be the one who has come down from the immaterial absolute for spiritual training, or has attained the spiritual standard of evolution required for the purpose by supreme self exertion. 12. Can we name him as Yoga Brahman? Is it appropriate? Let the reader judge it until his judgment comes out. Let me stick to the same, and he perfected the method and means of Raj Yoga in the light of Sahajma, the form worship of the ultimate. 13. Language found its purpose. The goal is achieved, and it is in aid of his expressions, of his intimation of his existence to Yoga Brahman, the human form of the ultimate by way of sound of alphabets, and Yoga Brahman termed it as a letter for our convenience, dated as the 21st of February, 1955, when he set out his communion with him, through Sabda Brahma, only for our sake. He expressed it with the help of the linguistics in the first date of issue 4th of Holy Communion is the 3rd of March 1955. Yoga Brahman, God of Yoga with the help of Source of Yoga. The yogic process of fusion and fission of energies began, and that is directed to evolve union in. It is named as yoga, and the process of union began unnoticedly as well as unconsciously within him. 14. The 22nd of October, 1955, saw the greatest phenomena, which was unheard in the annals of spiritual path, the perfect union, at the first sight. Both are unaware of it, but well settled of it, as the gentle process of unison resulted as union. Now none know who is who. But both were as same as earlier, apparently an unfurlment and enfoldment of the process of completion. To the naked eye took to the date of the 11th of February, 1969 at 8:25 am. And his Laya Avastha in Brahma, absorbency in Brahma, has commenced. 15. Who is the Brahma? 16. The beginning and the end is in the hands of Brahma, and he is in Brahma and still he is in existence. Now, every other thing was ended then. Someone can or may get the happy tidings of existence of Laya Avastha in Brahm by the kind grace of Brahma only. 17. From the 11th of February, 1969 to 10th April 2006. Who lived? Who is living thereafter? How could this become possible? What means were adopted? Who could do this? 18. Is it right to deduce in my thinking that it is possible only with the help of Sahaj Marg, the form worship of the ultimate, of the process of Raj Yoga, and those are the great marvels of yogic science and wonders of yogic engineering, and let us together examine those great marvels of yogic science and wonders of yogic engineering in the life and living Sri Raghavendra Rao Sahib. Living is divine, and that living is made the life is life divine, and made this science as the greatest spiritual science by his living. 19. The 21st of February, 1955, the divine process of union began. Apparently for his individual spiritual evolution. But for the atmosphere, nature and Mother Earth, it is altogether a different thing, and the scent and fragrance of spiritual renaissance had begun. With the help of yogic science and yogic engineering, of the process of transformation of human and his energy, engulfing entire cosmos, sphere by sphere spreading, and the result could be noticed in the overall thrust given to the every general science as well as of every fine arts and including to all kinds of yogic sciences, and this is one-sided vision apparent, and other side vision apparent is he being appointed as the preceptor with full permission, given absolute authority on the utilization of Pranahuthi with the perfect command and control. He was set out training centers, attracting every section of human society with the inner awakening, imbibing them with divine consciousness and orienting them for the self-realization or God realization within this very life itself, or within the very short span of life of any sincere and honest soul throughout South India to begin with, setting aside those age-old practices and methods by introducing within them the simple method of Sahaj Marg and enveloping entire families and set into motion of attitude building and attitude changing, with the help of prayer, love, and with the honest approach for their welfare and well-being and overall development of them. By adopting those yogic sciences and yogic engineering, certainly not by way of exhibition of miracles. Undoubtedly the miracles followed him miraculously, but he is never ever inclined or interested in them, being himself a qualified engineer with mechanical engineering and thorough rational and away in free from all sorts of superstitions, and he set the mark of yogic science and yogic engineering upon the lives of every associate of him. But now I understand it was understood in limited sense, not fully and completely by all of us without any exception, and we all failed to catch the panoramic view of it from the viewpoint of him, of Sahajma method, and all the benefits we all are in receipt for us and our families. We termed them as boons in popular sense and gifts of our deservingness, and for that we wish to show our gratefulness for exhibition, and it is for public consumption. 20. By birth, by grant, and supreme self exertion are the three ways which guarantee this kind of achievement of that caliber, as mentioned by Shri Babuji Maharaj. 21. All in one go are essentials, as it appears to me in the life of Sri Raghavendra Rao Sahib, and his supreme self-exertion was evident and vibrantly visible during the whole course of his living upon this planet Earth. And it is further evident that, for any ordinary or extraordinary human being is also to achieve such kind of mind, heart, conscious, soul, apart from his capacity of brain, memory, intellect, rationality, scientific temper, just and fair, love and compassion, deep understanding of the downtrodden and fallen people, his zeal and zest to remove the oppression from the oppressed and in one voice to spread the Brahma Vidya, that is his master's name. A few examples I am quoting to myself to remind me about his bringing those qualities along with him, having as an accumulated asset at the time of his birth. And the grant goes to those who are deserving, and all along of his life he strived for deservingness, not minding for any desiringness. Hence he became one pointed target of grant of grace. 22. For the general debate and discussion, I wish to state here, by way of reminder to me, as whether it was such a necessity for him to exert himself with such supreme self-exertion after achieving Laya Avastha in Braham way back on the 11th of February 1969 until the 10th of April 2006. For what? Why? Does anybody can think even? Is there anybody who stands before him? Is it practically possible? Is he not an unique? Is he not worthy worshipful? 23. When looked at the magnitude of the subject matter and its vibrant state and vibrancy, the result is felt in the form of echo of my smallness and limited existence, compared to the subject matter. 24. Realization. 25. GENESISS of systematic studies basis is existence, presence, and availability of its presence and existence. 26. Nada Brahman, sound and the ultimate. Sound, light and the ultimate. 27. Sahasra SHEERSHAHAPURUSHAHA. Sahasrasksha Sahasra Part 2. Purushaha YEVEDAGAM Sarvam YADBHOOTAM YACHCHA Bhavyam 2. Sa BHOOMEMVISHWATHATHATHYATHISHTATH Dashan Gulam 2. 28. The ultimate was perceived in their ancient minds of wisdom, with the backing of their traditional background and in the backdrop of orthodoxness. As so, a vision-based perception of superior kind of yogic practice. 29. Primordial sound. A sound which is present before the creation, rather became the basis of the creation. That primordial sound is spelt as nada. 30. In true sense and meaning for the word creation is sound, and sound only. This created sound is expressed as shabda. Creation created sound. 31. Human inspiration is thoroughly charged with innumerable sound forms in the creation and wisdom. Deciphered that every form of existence in the creation has a sound form within it and with it. 32. Vested with sound and perfect vocal cords and a superior kind of human frame system in the form of human body. Sound asserted its powerful presence through its perfect vent in the form of voice. 33. Par excellent excellence of one and only one of its kind is presented in the human manifestation is the one which assimilates every kind of sound and give perfect guidelines to manifest, emerge, produce such kind of sound through the voices, EARS. 34. When I searched in me how to get the guidance, from whom I should get the guidance, my natural leaning went to my Acharya Deva and I was in respectful waiting for his guidance in seeking suitable communication, and I did not get an usual mode in which he used to express himself. Instead of, I got emergence of this sentence in me, Shabdaranyam Ghoraranyam, by Sri Bhagavad Pada Adi Shankaracharya. In a dialogue with my Acharya Deva about Sri Bhagavad Pada flashed in me from a memory plate of mine, and in which he mentioned to me that none in the world can pass a comment on Sri Bhagavad Pada, and if anyone passes it is sin. Unpardonable. In Sri Bhagavad Pada is the authority in every aspect and in every way of expression. Hence my sincere and honest attempts to understand the statement of my Acharya Deva. While proceeding further and to pray Sri Bhagavad Pada to guide me in this huge task. 35. Sri Bhgavath Pada. Adi Shankara gave caution with the profoundness of his understanding about Shabda being authority of unparalleled command and control on Shabda. To use Shabda with utmost caution, understanding, awareness, as well as with clear clarity of perfect consciousness and conscience of the same, and in one word he issued that caution as a command to use Shabda in such a way so as to give correct and rightful meaning and sense embedded with the clarity in understanding, and could evolve right perception to give clear conscience. Hence be careful to use Shabda, as Shabda is Shabda Aranyam Ghorar Anyam. 36. Tiny is me, puny is mine. I think, therefore I am in the task of using Shabda in the form of words. Hence I had only one last resort, i.e., to pray, and that too to him, Sri Bhagavad Pada Adi Shankaracharya, who has no equal, no parallel, no match, and none is above and beyond of his pristine pure intellect of the original mind of divinity personification, nay, the very divinity in human form, to guide me in this outstanding issue. 37. O luminous one, O enlightened, born, O compassionate, yea, born to serve, to dispel the clouds of darkness, who lit the lives with the candle of love, love of Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, Dharma of Manushya, Manuja Dharma, known that as pure and purity, termed and named as Hindu Dharma. 38. Nuances of spiritual knowledge, and its intricate subtlety of weaving with its shades and colors getting mixed and expressed as Vibgyor of multitudes but emerging out from one, brilliance white, is in total unknown to me, and I am a novice. Realization of state of novice is the perfect platform to take a leap or jump into the ocean of prayer, so as to get drowned, immersed, and get absorbed in it like a droplet of dew falling in the great ocean, only to see the beauty of existence of the prayer, after becoming one with it. 39. Thence became direct, the communion, and it is straight as a straight line now. As the prayer offered, accepted, and a grant is released in the form of flow of thoughts. In a jiff, the entire process of prayer got over, just by turning to Acharya Deva. Lo, accolades, to whom? It is to him and unto him, to whom it belongs. 40. Upon pitch of purity, the ball of thought, made of devotion, when hit with the dedication, the bounce is perfect. Went through the wicket, the game is over and you are the winner. In the field of spirituality. 41. Knower of all can only tell all, and who is the owner of all can only give all. As the saying goes, and it became true in my life, and the same is realized with him, my Acharya Deva. 42. Genesis of knower of all in glimpses and glances of flowing in the thought flow sheet, using the sound form by reverberating with his voice with the same precision and clarity. As he is speaking, continuing, and my hands absorbed the command and my fingers are typing, taking the help of the form of language to express his voice. 43. What does your master's transmission do to me? A genuine query to Acharya Deva. Reply. If you won't become the north-rate scoundrel you can become, and if you won't become the greatest saint of the world order you can become, with the help of my master's transmission. 44. Do you mean to say that it is in my hands to become what I want to become? Query. Reply. Yes, it is in your hands, saw the magnanimity of his being, and in one go he gave a grant in the form of freedom to choose, and he bestowed it on that individual, and further he gave enlightenment to choose, and the said individual chosen it without knowing it, and utterance flown from his mouth as, then I want to become the greatest saint of the world, the further grant oozed from his vocal cord, yes, you can become, Shraddha Vanbhav, the greatest boon, as rated by the ancient wisdom got realized instantly. 45. Jignasus, those who are born only to be with God. When saturated maturity of being with God is lessened, then they become bhaktas, and further lessened, then those individuals assume the status of Diyavats, and further lessened, those individuals become Suras. And further the said maturity of being with God is lessened, then they tend to become Manava. And when further the graph of maturity taken the path of diminishing to the proportion of the diminishing, the said individual starts acquiring the opposite qualities of the above mentioned states and are named as Vibhakt, devoid of bhakti, Asura, Danava, Daitya, Rakshas, Bhutas, the ones who live or attempting to live with past, in the present, Pretas, dead in spirit but living, having the nature of troubling others, Pishachi, spirit is dead, body is decomposed, as if a dead body is walking with evilness in full. And another state is that when a practitioner of faith, with sound practice but not cleansed thorough due to his inadequate submission to the will of his Acharya and not followed the practice of cleansing, purging, purification, but got empowered along with that thorough unclean state, is going to transform himself as demonic, devilish, evil, and during the times of his living he lives the life of a sinister, and he started to enjoy the fruits of his application of power and evolve his ego to such height that that very head become long, and he pronounced as headlong, and he would have brought misery of untold nature to the people in and around, and charging the atmosphere with the same essence, and make a perfect home to return back to his made home after his death, and in reality his death is only the flesh and blood, body. But the spirit lives, and the ancient wisdom named it as Brahma Rakshasa, but the fall is further on and so severe of being, and it is vibrantly felt at the times of Lord Jesus Christ and Prophet Muhammad Paigambar, and those times named it as Satan. WHO is equal and ASPOWEREFULAS God. Almost. As the Satan is all-pervasive. 46. And those men WHO began their spiritual practices and lost the path of Acharya and divine light and right practice, and indulge in practices and the methods of unspiritual, ungodly, inhuman, evil, demonic, and devilish, and these states are born after the death of pure spirit, which is the basis of spirituality, and their spirit is thorough in transformation as so. 47. I am a witness to the above mentioned process. People, and that is the explanation given to me by my Acharya. Theory and practice side by side. 48. It appears that the psalm of Saint David to the Lord is so befitting here, and I wish to take the help of his psalm to express the state, a glimpse, a passing wink, fragrance of vapor of passing of gentle wind of devotion of my Acharya Deva. Vindicate me, O Lord, for I have walked in my integrity, and I have trusted in the Lord without wavering. Prove me, O Lord, and try me, test my heart and my mind, For thy steadfast love is before my eyes, and I walk in faithfulness to thee. 6. I wash my hands in innocence, and go about thy altar, O Lord, singing aloud a song of thanksgiving, and telling all thy wondrous deeds. O Lord, I love the habitation of thy house, and the place where thy glory dwells, and the mission of my Acharya Deva is to spread the gospel of Shri Babuji Maharaj. Is also spelt in the voice of Saint David. All the ends of the earth shall remember and turn to the Lord, and all the families of the nations shall worship before him. 49. On the 17th to the 18th of March 2006, Shri Raghavendra Rao Sahib mentioned that, I don't think it is possible for the mankind to understand the presence and his emergence of Shri Babuji Maharaj on this earth, and even 1 lakh years or more time given to the mankind. In Sahib's voice, these utterances are in the mix of Kannada and English language, and it was recorded. And the blessings of Sahib oozed out from his being for the continuation of mankind. Pure love flown from the compassionate by these utterances. Sri Rama Raksha, Shri Jagad Raksha. 50. Brahmavid. Brahmava Bhavate, the one who is one with Brahman, is the Brahman. Repository of ancient wisdom clearly spelt in the utterances of that mighty minds became a grant to the mankind of all times, and reassured me that such a pure, pristine pure wisdom is always made its presence upon this sacred Mother Earth. Hence this Mother is sacred. This aqua is sacred. This air is sacred. This expanse, the space is sacred, upon this earth. 51. On the 24th of February 1969, a letter was written by Shri Babuji Maharaj to Shri Raghavendra Rao Sahib, bearing serial No. 180, No C 89, SRCM. Extract I am retyping it. 52. First of all, I congratulate you for the fact that your Laya Avastha in BRHAM, absorbency in Brahma, has commenced on the 11th of February 69 at 8:25 am. All this is due to the grace of revered Lalaji Sahab. Otherwise a saint of such caliber is found once in hundreds of years. 53. And it is the speciality of his training only that there can be many such persons at a given time. 54. If such 24 persons who have attained this condition can be had, and if they preach and propagate in different parts of India, spirituality will develop in every part of India within 20 years. But, brother, no doubt I have got the courage that I can make millions of such persons by the power and grace of Lalaji Sahab. But I do not get men. Someone is busy reciting the name of Ram, while other is busy reciting mantra. Someone else turns the string of beads while walking around and thinks, I am doing a great worship. They do not understand that incorrect practice leads to wrong path. There is no bar for going to temple, but people go to temples and return leaving God there itself, and come back home blank as they were. Extract from the letters of Shri Babuji Maharaj to Shri Raghavendra Rao Sahib. 55. Till the advent of this method of training, which was founded by Shri Lalaji Maharaj, the achievement of Laya Avastha in Brahman is a mirage in barren, endless desert of spirituality, and further finding of any traces of that state while living upon this earth is unheard in the annals of mankind, let alone in the spiritual history of mankind. But it is so vibrantly and lively present, as well as visible in the very living of the Beloved One, and like lamp posts, illuminating the pathway of life and living. The statehood of Brahman is present. To feel, to experience, to perceive, to enjoy, to enlighten, to illuminate, to shape and fashion our hearts, to shape and mend our lives, and living with the unparalleled brilliance during our living with Him. 56. Shri Babuji Maharaj made it possible for one and all to experience the state of the Brahman. The ultimate during his living was simple Ramchandar, and every one of us still relishes his living. Though not seen him, heard him, touched him, felt him, not knowing the language of him, not knowing him, not knowing of him, but, just by taking his name, his utterances, reproduced, his movements mimicry, so on and so forth. Saga of never ending of his living as the Brahman continued. His every gesture was a revelation. His every sound was revelation of sound form of Brahman. His every movement was movement of energy, the prana is moved. His light of glee in the sparkle eye of him. With twinkle is the source of light, light of illumination, of enlightenment. In the simplest way he revealed the secrets of creation, secrets of nature and secrets of Brahmana. But still none could think, understand, feel, experience and perceive him as the Brahman, the ultimate. But all enjoyed his company. But we certainly missed that greatest revelation of his living was the very living of the Brahman. In the human form, amongst us as co-human, a convenience and a concession, given to the mankind in the golden platter, a boon, a great grant of unheard and remained as so, by the kind grace of Sri Lalaji Maharaj. Well engraved in gold are his revelations in the Raj Yoga, the book of efficacy of Raj Yoga. In the light of Sahaj Marg is ovation in standing by the yogis of the world. For the demarcation and classifications of regions, the heart region, the mind region, the central region, and the center, brilliant mind of the Brahman, the ultimate is found in the Raj Yogi. The Brahman, the Yogi, is God expressed in the blooming expressions of power centers, in the revelation of two words. Infinity, binding principles of creation and its beginning, continuation and the end, as well as the powers of nature. Human creation with its basic composition of spread of consciousness, the power of mind, the power of emotions, the power of spirit, and the power of thought, are Brahma Rishi. Mandala with everlasting shining with the brilliance presented in the 10 Commandments. As Vedas and Upanishads, the text form of storehouse of knowledge is present in the sacred treatise of Sahaj Marg philosophy, and then the dawn occurred, Aftab, presented in the reality at dawn, culmination and essence of direction, guidance for human life and living. His master's voice, spoken as voice real, and his training module of humble notes, presented as the autobiography of Ramchandra. From the time of his coming to the holy feet of his master Sri Lalaji Maharaj, to receive the first transmission, and to his revelation of masterhood. 57. His vibrant, resounding voice issue forth is the essence with pragmatic quotes, intimate and personally reaching to individuals. With the revelations as correspondence, tuned the Shabda Brahman, reached to number of people across the globe, and is available, and his vast expanse of his knowledge is hidden with number of people, in the form of personal interaction also. With him, 58, stood in standing ovation, with awe, with wonderment, the emergence of the Master, all the luminaries of the spiritual world, on the event of ascending to the masterhood. But it was a simple, just spread, in the personal noting of Ramchandra, of intercommunications, of directions, of revelations, of works, of changing the world order, of transforming the energies, of releasing the oppression, of spreading the Brahmavidya, of assisting the sincere and honest souls, of set righting the individual dynamo, and of universal dynamo, from across the globe, from cross-sections of human societies of different times, different personalities, as lampposts of knowledge, light forms, illuminating certain areas and paths. Beacon lights, everlasting presence with vigil and vigor. Attempting to shape the mankind with lighting the pathway and giving the direction. In the dead of darkness of human living in the human time. Were in constant touch with the Master. Continuously, and those sacred communion became sacred treatises and were recorded in a meticulous way, in orderly manner, only with whole and sole intention to pass on the sacredness, in the form of sacred wisdom. Preserved for the posterity, after duly helping the present generation. Is embedded in language form. By his hand and in his own handwriting, and a portion saw the light after his physical wailing. Mahasamadhi, in the form of the autobiography of Ramchandra, as it was his instructions during his physical presence on this mother earth. 59. Wind, wind and wind, whirl, whirl and whirl, became whirlwind of holy and sacredness of being. The Master spread the universe and creation as well as existence into the appearance. He appeared in physical at every nook and corner of India by painstaking traveling, traversing, and covered entire globe too, duly cleansing, purging, and purifying all the land, all the water, all the expanse, all the ether, and entire cosmos and of its cosmic states and energies, single-handedly in bringing the rule, order and manner of presence, existence and conduction, and it brought all praise to Sri Lalaji Maharaj from every nook and corner of the higher world in. Sri Lalaji Maharaj made pathway for every light to get merged in the Master and see the nobility of Ramchandra's expression. It is all Lalaji Maharaj's grace, and once a saint of high caliber wanted to bestow on him the grace and inquired with the Master. The reply is, "Please seek the permission of my Master before bestowing on me," and it appears that Sri Lalaji Maharaj has left his brighter world to be with Sri Babuji Maharaj always, and for this act Swami Vivekanand Maharaj said that there is no example of this kind in the spiritual history. Lo, for the sake of disciple, the Lord left the brighter world. 60. This is the most robust and powerful expression bestowed on me by my Acharya Deva. Through communion. About Sri Babuji Maharaj is I had only 5 occasions to see him and 1 or 2 occasions to hear him. And I am in no way capable of or having knowledge or read about. 61. While the gentle flow of thoughts flowing about Sri Babuji Maharaj, simultaneously, profoundness of understanding indicating the inner depth of Rao Sahib. For Sri Babuji Maharaj, which has unfathomable depth, is emerged and felt, and I was wonderstruck to observe the fashion of shaping my heart in the hands of my beloved one, and it further strengthened the faith and bestowed conviction upon me of my beloved one. Greatness lies in his smallness, and his smallness comparable to the tiny of tiniest, and none is tinier than thee, is himself. And his status is that he is not even equal to the dust particle attached to the holy feet of his Master. But he has the courage to manifest the greatest saints of the world order within a fraction of a second, only if he has the permission of his Master, a true non-existence. Existence. It means the Master exists and he is the Lord. 62. The true test of Laya Avastha in Brahman is the Brahman himself living and nothing else. And it is written all over in the life and living of my beloved one. 63. Too much is to feel, but touch me not is the attitude of this insignificant. Then how to go about? Is the query from my Acharya Deva. In his own words in Kannada language. I am typing it. Nanaj Nivu a freedom Kodulia Mattu Nanaj a freedom illa Andhare. Nanu Wobber teacher. Nanu hege kelasa madali. Hege parivartane tharali. Intellect gets stupefied. Before very beginning of the spirituality. Nanu hegadru atana krup ge nimma nanna yogyeru galanu mattu pathrarannu mada beku ano. Hambala nangide. Kalakali lind bedukotini. Swalpa nanashi avakashvannu odijisi. 64. Deep pang felt, surge of hurt swelled, choked is the beam, how to assure him of my deep desire, of my sincere yearning, with the committed honesty of my attempts to give him that freedom, that amount of time, though, that any amount of my penance, that any amount of anything, cannot assure me and guarantee me of his grace other than thy selfless hand of help, which you extend without our request, without our seeking, without our befitting attitude. Hence these insignificant, insufficient and inadequate expressions. I beg to crave to treat these expressions as prayer, which is placed at thy lotus feet, with the humble heart. Hey Meri Aka, O Meri Maula, I beseech your shade and shadow. 65. A poet with a Sufi saint heart penned a song and it pulled me like magnet, as it pulls iron files, and got it attached to it and felt that it is almost my heart's silent prayer to my Acharya Deva. Hence I am reproducing it in Hindi and its English translation. 66. O Rangreez tere rang dariya mein, डूबना है बस तेरा बनके, हाय नहीं रहना दूजा बनके. 67. O dire, in your river of colors, I have to drown, becoming all yours. I don't have to live belonging to someone else. 68. एक भी सांस अलग नहीं लेनी, खंच लेना प्राण इस टान के, हाय नहीं रहना दूजा बनके. 69. I don't want to take a single breath away from you. Pull the life from my body away. I don't want to live belonging to someone else. 70. अपने ही रंग में मुझको रंग द, धीमे धीमे रंग में मुझको रंग द, सौंधे सौंधे रंग में मुझको रंग द, रंग द ना, रंग द ना, रंग द ना. 71. Color me in your own color. Slowly, color me in your color. In fragrant color, color me, color me, color me please. 72. घुंघरू है तू, main to whom PAANVPA, Janannan, people to main to whom CHAANVPA, Dubby hoon magan. 73. You are the ankle bells, I am the foot, O beloved. And then there is sound of घुंघरू, the ankle bells, signifying the togetherness of both. You are the peepal tree, and I am the shade. I am happily there below you. 74. O नैनों में बस छाप तेरी लहराए, छलके 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 री, बरसे हल्के हल्के, अपने ही रंग में. 75. Your shadow waves in my eyes, like waves of sea, and spills, rains slowly. She's talking of tears here. In your own color. 76. अपने ही रंग में मुझको रंग दे. 77. माला में आ तुझको पिरो लूं, तुझे पहनूं साजन, होठों पे आ सरगम सा बोलूं, तुझे रात लूं सजन. 78. Come, I'll put you in a garland, like a flower, and wear you, O beloved. Come to my lips, I'll sing you like a sargam. Sargam is the music of any song in terms of elements which are sung by experts. I'll remember you by heart, O beloved. 79. Sajan, तीस मेरी पीस दे मुझ में ही, घुल जा, मिल जा सजना, पिघल के मिल जा, अपने ही रंग में. 80. O beloved, grind, and end, the twinge I feel, get dissolved into me only. Get mixed, O beloved, melt and get mixed, in your own color. 81. अपने ही रंग में मुझको रंग दे. 82. Shimmering is the state, shimmer is the mode, is the way my beloved lived and living. And basking in the sunshine of the Master, that is the living. With the veil of gleam which is his humaneness. 83. Earnestness and honesty of his purpose is to serve, dedication and devotion other ways. Submission and surrender to his master's will is his prana, committed with commitment is his life. And remained, lived as his master's voice. 84. If I take the refugee in Vedantic thoughts and views, to know and to express about the life and living of my beloved, whether is it possible, or whether is it falls under the purview of them, or whether it could contain true and real life and living of MahaYogi in expressed expressions of them, or they remain only as pointers to show that there is something higher form of existence and living, altogether away from, and beyond, or of their limits and scope, and only it is reiterating the eternal and everlasting truth of a truth eternal, only to find in the very life and living of MahaYogi, and only to assist the mankind in order to evolve correct, rightful, and proper understanding and comprehension, so as to give a proper shape to consciousness and conscience, thereby to tune and mend the mind, by making the heart, achieving the cohesion of brain, and to empower the thought power, by cleansing, purging and purifying, only to achieve to its pristine pure state of original state of thought. Perhaps my sail on the ship of Vedantic thoughts can assure me only a direction, not realization of truth of his living, of MahaYogi, because of their power of expressions, at the most are in the horizon of glimpses of state, but certainly not total expressions, leave alone empowering someone with practice and realization. Forget about the manifestation of MahaYogi, of his form of life and living, with the help of available language medium, known to me. 85. When oozing is issued forth again about the genesis of spiritual sciences, thoughts are made to drift to such times, and those times are times which were the very times before. The times of Rajarshi Who lived 72 generations before Raja Dasharat of Ayodhya, of Sun dynasty of Ramayana. At that very time, said Rajarshi, whose reach and status is Brahman, and he is mostly attached to the center. 86. Clinical examination of the mentioning by Shri Babuji Maharaj about that yogi gives leads to thoughts, and those thought streams are quite in number. To begin with is the issue of life expectancy of those times. Second is lifespan, and the dependent element is 1 generation. Of the expectancy and span are in one pack, and in another pack is his practices, and the third one is his status at that very time. General atmosphere, race and vegetation were also contributors. 87. Life expectancy is huge. Lifespan is long. Measure of generation is also equal and proportional to the expectancy and span of life in those times. 88. In order to understand Yogi, we should first understand about him. Human. And yoga and the thought process helps us, and it began to churn the intellect, and the primary understanding is descended. He means human, and yoga means union, and its meaning and further emerged understanding is creation. And this leads to new horizons of understanding, which needs to be known to understand the subject matter. Hence my sincere and honest attempts to know the spectrum of word, namely, creation. 89. Creation is a wonderful toy created by the Creator, the Almighty. Perhaps for his play, created out of his playfulness. A novice's feeling, and creation is the echo of Creator. With the help of sound, got emerged in animate and inanimate, with the binding of primordial elements, and to having the experience of the creation's presence, of space, which is producing a feeling of shelter above us, covering in entirety and eternally absorbing all times and always assuring us, giving us a feeling that heaven's watchful eyes are observing us eternally. Night and day, the breeze is infusing us with elan vital. Day is mesmerizing us with signature presence of sun and shine. Night is transfixing us with presence of planets, stars in its twinkle, and moon in its light smearing us with soothing and arousing effects. The life giver, the life sustainer, the water is graced and presented in innumerable kinds in it, itself expressed with the most unassuming form, within us and amidst us. And the fire with its myriad forms, is all-pervasive. No existence can exist without its presence, may be visible, invisible, or subtle and sublime, may be its footprints or may be violent, may be dangerous, amalgamated. One form of all those elements are presented in one existence, called Mother Earth. 90. Portion and part of the creation of animate is insects kingdom, kingdom of water, kingdom of wild, kingdom of skies, birds, and kingdom of plants, kingdom of deserts, and kingdom of mountains, and kingdom of islands, and unknown kingdoms of unknown to man. Upon the planet Earth. 91. Space and its member elements and its cosmic energy component along with cosmos within our universe. Stars, galaxies, black holes etc. Plus unknown universes, which are in the mode of everlasting expansion. 92. Above all, cynosure of eye of creation, marvel of creation, jewel of creation for Almighty, and the very purpose of creation is the creation of human being. The purpose of creation got fulfilled and further with stunning form of human body and faculties. Wonderment of engineering in the emergence of human organs, with no equal and outstanding. Manifestation of human heart and brain plus other vital organs, which became the source of every emergence of science and engineering in the times of human presence, anatomy of human system along with all the systems presented in the human system are the centers and source of knowledge and conduction of systems and organs as whole, producing the power of life sustenance, and life is produced by prana, elan vital. 93. To give insight from the view of ancient wisdom and tradition, Wu's approach to the subject matter and terminology, which were in use of those times, of which subject matter of expression is almost Latin and Greek to me, as I was never and ever got exposed to that kind of ancient wisdom, with that kind of words, terminology and expression, and in nutshell I had never read any such kind of literature in my life. Hence it became imperative on me to seek guidance, and wise men guided me to go through the book of Truth Eternal, penned by Adi Guru, and when I was reading at random, just by opening the book and go through those pages of opened page, it was wonder to notice that those pages which contain that matter which is relevant for my writing, and not only by hearing but reading also has the same effect, and it produced in me the state of realization along with comprehension and acceptance. And this is Veda, only by hearing produces comprehension and acceptance, is named as Veda by Shri Lalaji Maharaj. 94. Adi Guru, Mahatma, Samartha Sadguru, Param Pujya Shri Lalaji Maharaj defined human this way: with their bodies. 95. The gross body is the instrument of action. Nay, it is action itself, and cannot exist without any activity. 96. The subtle body is the instrument of knowledge or thought. Nay, it is knowledge itself, and it cannot exist without thinking and understanding. 97. The causal body or the soul is the instrument of joy. Nay, it is joy itself, and it cannot exist without bliss and happiness. 98. Viewed from this point, action is the beginning, knowledge the middle, and bliss the final state. That is why the action is considered to be the beginning of the Veda. 99. The primary form of human is elucidated with the general and common understanding. 100. The human is God expressed and God identified himself with the basic urges. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya and Matuna. In the spells of ancient wisdom. 101. The evolved civilization of mankind of our times defined, human, with, states, the one who has the state of spirit, the one who has the state of psyche, the one who has the of mind, the one who has the human body, physical, as the co-human, has accepted as so. 102. In the words of Adi Guru, who gave a higher meaning and elevated the status of physical body to the higher state because it is the abode of Sukshma Sharir and Karana Sharir, and his elucidation as follows. 103. There are three types of bodies. 104. 1. Outer or gross body, which is called Sthul Share. This is made of sense organs, flesh, skin, bones, blood, fat, etc. This is the sheath of food or the anname, kosha. 105. 2. The subtle body is called Sukshma Share. It is made of mind, manas, intellect, buddhi, psyche, chit and egoism, ahankar. This is the sheath of mind, or manomaya, kosha. That which is made of knowledge, thought, intelligence etc. is known as the sheath of knowledge or the Vijnaname, kosha. 106. 3. Third is the soul or the causal body, which is called Karana Share. It is made of happiness, joy and bliss. This is the sheath of bliss or Anandame kosha, the food of which is joy. If you think over these names deeply, then you will know that these bodies really exist. 107. The knowledge of the outer body, i.e., the Sthula Share, comes in the waking state or Jagratha Avastha. The knowledge of the subtle body or Sukshma Share comes in the dream state or Swapna Avastha, which is connected with the mind. The knowledge of the causal body or Karan Sharir comes in the deep sleep state or Sushupti. This is the soul itself. 108. The knowledge of these comes in three ways. 109. 1. The knowledge of the gross body comes through the five senses, which are capable of knowing the form or rupa, the sound or sabda, the smell or gandha, the taste or rasa, and the touch or spasa. 110. 2. The knowledge of the subtle body comes through inference, which involves thinking, reasoning and arriving at conclusion. The intellect, chitta, mind, manas, the reason, buddhi, and egoism, ahankara, are involved in it. 111. 3. The knowledge of the causal body or soul body come through authority or sabda pramanya. 112. Sages have given it four forms: for the mind, chitta, thinking faculty; manas, contemplating instrument; buddhi, deciding instrument; intellect; ahankar, dwelling upon the decision; I-ness or ego. 113. The mind has five conditions, namely stupidity, fickleness, ignorance, having wisdom, and having peace or happiness. 114. Contra to the knowledge, rightful and correct, if these instruments are used, which are like surgical instruments, which need to be kept in the most sterile condition, but used otherwise. Shri Lalaji Maharaj spelt the results, like using a surgical knife to cut fruit and vegetables. 115. When it, mind, establishes strong mental connection with the body, it becomes stupid. 116. When it acts in the body in a particular relationship, it becomes ignorant and fickle. 117. When it acts with discrimination and intelligence in connection with physical and worldly affairs, it is called intelligent. Though it has knowledge of all things, it is bereft of its own particular knowledge, and for the same reason it is called ignorant. 118. And when due to the width of experience it loosens the ties of this world, begins to establish relationship with the spirit, and begins to toy with the ideas of this world and the other, of earth and heaven, it is called wise. It then acts in the same manner regarding both, and does not take any deep impression, keeping equal the pans of the balances. As it were, one who has understood the mind has understood the spirit and everything else. 119. Manushyanam Shasreshu, Manushyanam Sahasreshu, Kasad Yatathi Siddhaye, Yatatam Api Siddhanam, Kasam Mam Vetti Tatvata. Translation. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. 120. In the words of Shri Babuji Maharaj, aspire for the highest, heart to the master, mind to the preceptor, the one who aspire for the highest, the one who gives his heart for master, the one who gives his mind to his preceptor, is a true abhyasi, true human. True definition of human, as he found goal and purpose of human birth and means to achieve. Spelt clearly in the prayer. 121. Acharya Deva, Sanskrit word, means preceptor in English language. 122. O Master, thou art the real goal of human life. We are yet but slaves of wishes, putting bar to our advancement. Thou art the only God and power to bring me up to that stage. 123. Worship of the worthy master should be done. 124. Association with reality is called satsang. 125. Practice is the name of the practices of the means of union. Yog. 126. How to practice. For the query, the Lord Yogeshwara Krishna revealed to Arjuna Deva as Karmani ivadhikaraste, ma phalesu kadakana, ma karma phala heturbhur, mate sango, stv akarmani. Translation. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. 126b. As this knowledge, Vedas, is revealed through the rishis, it is necessary to consider the real meaning of the word rishi. 127. Rishi means 1. Seer of mantra. 2. An individual having full power over nature. 3. Moving existence, whether it revolves with its own axis as its center or on any other center, forming its axis. No space is free from this. Some are Vasus in whom the creation rests. Some are Adityas who give light to other with their own. Some are Rudras who make others weep in worldly matters, thus putting them on the right path. 128. 1. Mantra Drisht, seer of mantra. Mantra means mystery of nature, a remedy, a plan or scheme. Whoever is alert in grasping this is a rishi. Innumerable are such persons, but 7 are of distinction. Bharadwaja, Agastya, Jamadagni, Atri, Gautama, Vishwamitra and Brahaspati. These are 7 principles of nature that are found in the ethereal atmosphere. Akasha Mandala, in the form of Veda or knowledge. Apart from these are all those personalities, individuals, who are related to the special attributes of these rishis and are subordinate to them. 129. 2. Yantra Drisht, the seer of the instrument which runs according to certain laws. The word Niyantaru in Sanskrit means one who controls time, space and matter, and keeps them in order. Such a rishi is called Aditya, which is the name of a deity that shines like the sun. 130. 3. Tantradrisht, the seer of the current of the movement of nature or vitality. And one who spreads this current. Such a rishi is called Rudra. He shows through the practical experience. 131. 4. In addition to these there are Vasus and Daruvas. Among men those who are conversant with the secrets of these, and participate in the activities of knowledge, meditation and higher science, Vigya, are called rishis. Such men are found in every country and every race. Their and language being different, i.e. Abdul, Kutub, Avatar, Wali, Nabi, Savabit, Sayyare, Sadhu, Sant etc. 132. These rishis of India have given such a special to Veda. By hearing, comprehending and accepting which the essence of the Veda can be easily realized. The name is Shruti. 133. Shruti being an independent original sound is an authority in itself, and Smriti being a remembered thing depends on another authority. 134. Shruti is the name of that sound which be heard but which is not bound by word, letter and lip pronunciation. 135. Smriti can, to a certain extent, be called the imitation of that original sound which bound the tongue, lips, teeth and intonation etc. 136. Now we shall come back to the further knowledge as seekers and to have the elements or essence or spirit of yoga, yogi, MahaYogi, yoga drishtara. 137. The word yog is derived from yuj, a Sanskrit word, means union, and the one who practices union, mergence, absorption, lina, ikyata. To be one with the ultimate, to be one with the Brahman, is called a yogi, the practitioner. 138. MahaYogi, the one who can manifest, create, prepare, evolve with training, the state of yogi. Number of individuals can be said to be MahaYogi, though it is not total meaning, giving or expressing the true and real state of him. 139. Yoga Dristara, the one who is the master of yoga. The one who himself is yogi, and mastered the means of yogic practices. The one who is himself achieved the status of MahaYogi with ease, which has to be achieved with the supreme self-exertion and effort. The one who can open up further the knowledge of yoga and simplify the means, shorten the time, makes pathway of grace to descend upon earth and practitioner directly from the source, the ultimate, without any medium in between, making an individual befitting and proper, with suitable means, so as to reach a common man and to transform the hearts, sanctum sanctorum and bodies as of temples, wherefrom spirituality gets oozed out, resulting in the transformation of Mother Earth as the abode of the ultimate perfection is the journey on the way of excellence. 140. The definition of a Sat Guru is that 141. 1. He should attach himself to reality, i.e., he should dwell in the fourth state and in the Jivan Mukta condition. 142. 2. He should have practiced yoga, sabda, abhyasi, and by means of this practice he should control over inner region of the human brain. 143. 3. He should have glittering eyes and broad forehead. 144. 4. He should have knowledge of devotion, knowledge and work, bhakti, jnana, karma, and should be able to answer questions but should not bind the tongue of the questioner. 145. 5. He should concern himself with spiritual things, i.e., he should pay attention towards them. These are all ordinary characteristics. But the real inner qualification is that he should be able to satisfy his disciples by imparting the divine grace, transmitting grace, through the awakened inner vision. Adi Guru Shri Lalaji Maharaj's declaration of qualities of Sat Guru. 146. Who unveils, who opens new vistas, who conquers new horizons in the most ordinary, small and insignificant human beings of that great knowledge effortlessly with ease and elevating to higher spirits, evolving higher consciousness and perfecting the conscience. In a glance, but himself remains as non-existence. Existence, though not fully covered his state, can be said as Yoga Dristara. 147. With this dawn of comprehension, if we look into the life of Rajarishi, though not our times but fundamentals and basics are almost same, but that great Rishi had great more difficulties then, which is evident, because of the presence of Adi Guru and Shri Babuji Maharaj were not present to his help, but it appears to me that he also waited so long to come down and to take the birth so as to be with Shri Babuji Maharaj. Maybe he must be amongst us and lived with us and continued his living. 148. No yogi of this caliber ever again present on this earth other than now. And every yoga dristra has perfect command and control of spirit, and total and complete knowledge of the process of union. 149. Men, times and states of times. Bhuta, Bhavishyat, Vartamana, space and states of space, means spirit, who has complete comprehension and command I found only in my beloved. Yes, he is Yoga Dristara. But to me he is beloved Appa, the Father. 150. About men, all human beings are same, all over the world, and there is no particular and special difference. When I asked him whether there is any special difference between Indians and rest of the world population, that is the answer he gave, but he specifically mentioned to me as a guideline. Yarannu eli ida beku alai ida beku, avaravara sthanakke avaranu kudusa beku. No gender bias, equality and equanimity, no caste, no creed, but all are equal. 151. And it is evident, and the same thing is practiced as a way of life at his home at Raichur even today. And that home is home for one and all. This is the home of one and all. Whoever comes here is released of his oppression, awakened for higher life and living, and the purpose of his life felt with its vibrant, reverberating echoes, and his spirit soars to new height, and the dead one, of spirit, or the one who is devoid of spirit, is infused with new and a fresh spirit, just by remaining in his home. With him, realization of self or God realization is a foregone conclusion in his company. At his home. 152. About times and states of times. The clock of time was set when he entered the sphere of Jagrita Avastha at 3 a.m. In the awakened state of him, he sets the motion of time by continuously transmitting to every nook and corner till 5 a.m. in the morning, and he will have his morning tea, coffee to set the biological clock into motion and bring the machinery of house in action, and to see to it that rest of the people who were resting and giving company at his home are also given their dose of morning tea, coffee at their place of rest to start their engines. By 6 a.m. he is up and ready at the chair to receive one and all wholeheartedly with love and affection, with glee in his eyes, with broad smile of recognition, everyone with their names and family, in spotless purity, in attire and being. By about 6:30 a.m., formal adherence to the puja session, which is used to be short and sweet. By the time anybody could attempt to know, the individual would have been taken by the swiftness of transmission. Lo, puja is over. A small tea, which is served in ample measure continuously, not number of times, apart from going inside the kitchen and filling themselves, which is different, is named. Thereafter at 8:30 a.m. sumptuous breakfast is served, plus tea, coffee. Thereafter is the session of Mehfal, continues, rather, Janana Ganga, descends from above. Cleansing, purging and purifying, and Bhagirath is at work. Totally immersed in the sacred and holy obligation, offering oblations to Aditya only to rinse us, one and all, of our sorrows and sins, to release us from mire and misery and free us from bondage and slavery, and to instill us with faith and charge us with confidence and immerse us with love for Shri Babuji Maharaj. During this Mahafil, these moved on to small snacks, small dose of coffee, lunch, and rest, and further thereafter to tea after siesta, to reenactment of scene of small snack, small dose tea. Before that a small portion of fresh fruit served in MEHIFIL is only going on along with these turns and twists, and to reach to Sandhya, puja is performed, with the break of some juice. Appetizer. Getting ready to have dinner by 7:30 p.m. Thereafter of dinner, a small bite of concluding sessions, and the Jagrita Avastha is called off to begin Nidra Avastha, so as to enter to Swapna Avastha, thereby to go SUSHUPTHI, to be one with the Brahman. In his presence, in his company, the spiritual journey is on with grace, without effort. The day with him is filled with elucidation, explanation, illustrations, expositions, revelations, of all known as well as unknown subjects, young to elders. Open for all and free for all. 153. In the times of present, in his presence, those times used to get transformed into myriad of times. Every time frame died in the colors of its space, and the ancient wisdom named it as Yuga. The time is one word expression, indicating the nature and kind of total existence of the specific time and place in space and earth. Specific place, day, night, seasons and climate, and atmosphere, and all these are existing within sphere of space, and in which the birth of time takes place. And if we observe, the basic frame of earth and member elements are same, i.e. soil, vegetation, member elements upon earth, animals, water kingdom, and other kingdoms. Presence is undisputable, apart from size and space of those living members, but only with one difference, is its purity of those times differ from one another. In all times of known and unknown of mankind, and our ancient wisdom measured it with one yardstick, i.e. Dharma, DHARMORAKSHATHI Rakshitaha. And Dharma is compared to holy and sacred cow, when having robust health and in perfect form, which times are in accordance with eternal principles, and dependent principles are also in line, in length and breadth, moving in every walk of life and living of members in those times. These ancient rishis named as Satya Yuga, the sacredness is present in holy form. And these times are the times which produced mighty minds, giants in spiritual path, rishis of highest order, knowledge of yoga, knowledge of mantras, Vedas, Upanishads, and also other life sustaining sciences as well as intellectual sciences for the sake posterity in that set of knowledge with its kind and nature was absorbed in them, nay, they themselves are the physical forms, and they are the masters of yogic techniques, of evolving, of assimilating, of discerning, of coding, of decoding, of inferring, of elucidation, of affecting, of training, of transferring, that essence from heart to heart and transmission. Pranahuthi, Pranasya Pranha. Without any external medium whatsoever. And the same thing is dawned again. A new era began. From the times of our Adi Guru, Shri Lalaji Maharaj, Shri Babuji Maharaj, and my Acharya Deva. And these times, with these personalities, indeed it is Satya Yuga. heralded its beginning. 154. Drifting of the times into the depth of deep cosmos, rather passing of the time into new depth of deep cosmos, by continuously acquiring and acquainting itself with new kind of energy and other natures of energy. The mankind set its foot upon new soil of energy, and after living so long in the saturated state of Satya Kal, a kind of sluggishness did emerge, and that produced a kind of heaviness. Hence the result of drifting of mankind. Due to its heaviness it evolves force and gives movement, and movement gives growth, and the very growth checks the movement. And this is how the times are born, and space is changed, and changed space affect the time, thereby by bringing the change in the very times itself. And the birth of new time is declared with the declaration of change of order, change of life, change of living with a new kind of climate, atmosphere, times, space, vegetation, species, and that changed times are named by the ancient rishis as Treta Vayuga, wherein the thrust had been given to mental practices, psychic powers, in one word, mantra and tantra, with no equal, with no parallel rise and surge, unprecedented growth of the sciences of astronomy, aerospace, mathematics, metallurgy, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, automobile engineering, life sciences, medical, biotechnology, and other allied sciences of life science, pure and fundamental sciences, arms and armaments, civil engineering, production engineering, veterinary sciences, dairy, animal husbandry, etc. Apart from fine arts and literature and so on so forth, found of its height of reach in the Valmiki, Ramayana and other contemporary literature and writings, i.e., Pushpaka Vimanam, Astras and Sastras, herbal medicines, magical powers, giant forms, Kumbhakarna, Vali, Jambhavan, Hanuman, Megnath, worship of Nikumbhini, goddess, the Lanka, the city of gold, the personalities, the Lord Rama of Ayodhya, Ravana, Brahma, and the epic of Ramayana are the pure pearls of illustration and the abilities of expression, which is a standing ovation and formidable proof of sound mind with the healthy bodies of those times. The times of Ramayana went on and on to the times of myriad of times, and it laid a path, way of life for the mankind so long, and it led us to the fresh times, for the fresh infusion of spirit, as if it served its purpose and laid the perfect foundation, with the wonderful structure of principles, of the magnificent castle of humanness. A social order was perfected, and the life is chiseled out of rocky hearts, with the feelings of love and compassion. The human feelings are interwoven, giving a formidable strength to the institution of family and institution of relationships, which gave birth to the institution of religion, to take care of primary making of men, and to oversee the aspect of adherence of those principles by the every member of the society, thereby framing proper society, with infusion of vitality to the institution of society, making and becoming capable of producing a resounding form of civilization, and those Wisemen named it as Ramaraja, in which times Dharma lived in full with its four padas, Dharma, Arth, Kama, Moksha, equal, proportional, prioritized in the living of members of that particular time and society. The practices, which remained as practices and lost the soul or essence, out of practices of adherence of principles in a mechanical way, led to robotic living, a kind. And its perfection went on and resulted in perfect form of rigidity in the life and living. And the order of rulers and means of ruling became devoid of love and compassion. Instead of fatherly figure, the king became dictator and ruled with iron hand on the hapless subjects, and this kind of rule produced untold misery, agony, torture and unthinkable oppression, and the oppression with its colors, hues, shades absorbed every primary institution heads, and the corruption is total and complete, untenable. Disease, unacceptable norms of living, became way of life and living, and this kind of living in practices produced huge amount of grossness, and engulfed the human society, and engulfed grossness got absorbed by the human society. And they started inhaling and exhaling the same thinking that is the oxygen, and due to this kind of living, the total loss of discrimination resulted in continuing living in the said way. Without discrimination, resulted into proportion and priority less living, and when continued, resulted a life and living lesser than the beasts or worse than beasts. A kind of evilness seeped. Devilish and demonic acts became way of life, and this produced darkness. Covered the entire human society with such kind of poison, and to clean that it is almost impossible for anyone. Thereby, alert signals are sent in the state of Almighty. And with this miserable state, when mankind turned to Him, the most benevolent, the merciful accepted it as so, and that is the blessings in itself, and grace got descended in the form of the Lord Krishna. A declaration is made by the Lord Krishna at a later times to this effect, spelt as Yada yada hai dharmasya, glanya bhavati bharat, abhyutthanam adharmasya, tadatmanam sarjami aham. Translation: whenever and wherever a decline of righteousness and a predominance of unrighteousness prevails, at that time I manifest myself personally. O descendant of Bharata. Quote 155. Special personality, thou seemeth human and divine. The highest, holiest, man Lord thou. Our wills are ours, we know not how. Our wills are ours, to make them thine. The heights of great men reached and kept, were not attained by sudden flight. But they, while their companions slept, were toiling upward in the night. Longfellow, ushering of freshness, blooming of flowers, season of fruits, of his coming, manifested as spring of seasons of spirit, an atmosphere is getting filled with hope, love, and resulting in faith and conviction getting wings of flight to soar to new heights in welcoming new times, of which the soul is Lord Krishna, and with him the new era began. Amidst turbulence and turmoil, darkness and demonic, evil and devilish, in which state, wherein humaneness is vaporized, like burning of camphor, and the new yuga is unveiled and named as Dwapara, Lord Krishna is the Yuga Purusha, the special personality, mighty men, giant of personalities, huge intellectual explosion, almost akin to atomic explosion of, and no knowledge form is free from its effect of. Rather to say that every form of knowledge got powerful wings to soar to new heights and to find new vistas, opened new horizons to soar to further new heights, is the result of his coming, and entire mankind and human society saw overall development in it reached its pinnacle. But that very growth had begun with the causality of humanness and love, compassion, of which he is the embodiment and for which he stood. And he is the one who introduced bhakti in the system of practices, away from mental, psychic and intellectual practices, and it is the soul of practice, and he is declared that an humble heart and simple mind is only essential, rather bare essentials for the realization, and in that length and width he declared open new vistas on the pathway of practice, and in his sacred sermon to Shri Arjun Deva he quoted a revelation in the form of sermon. Sarv dharmam parityajya, mam ekam sharanam vraja, Eham tvam sarv papayo. Mokshaishyami masuka. The power of God is greater than the power of all the people in the world. In all creation, renounce all the rules and regulations of the temporal world, which are temporary because they require transformation, change, emendation from moment to moment. But stick to the supreme dharma, which is devotion to me. Leave other dharmas which are characteristic of performance of work, etc. in the world of diversity. Because all that variety of dharma is subsumed under this greatest of dharmas. That is love of God. There is no dharma equal to that. The glory and greatness of the Yuga. Dwapara Yuga became the epoch and named as Mahabharat, which was treated as Panchamaveda. The epic unveiler is Maharshi Veda Vyasa, and arena of Mahabharat is filled with the personalities Lord Krishna and Balarama, Pancha Pandavas, Kauravas, Bhishma Pithamaha, Vidura, Drona Acharya, Karna, Aswatthama, Kamsa, Jarasandha, Sishupala, Hidimbasura, Bakasura, Ghatotkacha, Shakuni, Sudarshana Chakra, Pasupathastra, Brahmastra, Brahma through Namakastra, Naranyanastra, Gandevam, Akshaya Tuneeram, Kaumodhini, Panchajanya. Adi Astra and Shastras. Maya Sabha are the few examples of excellency and reach of pinnacle of development. Within these three yugas comprises 8 of 10 of all Dasar Avatara, namely Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narsimha, Vamana, Parshurama, Sri Rama, Sri Krishna, Buddha and Kalki Avatara in Kali Yuga. After Lord Krishnji Maharaj, this Mother Earth took 6,500 years approximately to prepare to receive the special personality, Yuga Purusha, to grace the creation, and that beloved special personality declared to the mankind that main insan hu, the I, is nothing but he alone. And he is nothing but the ultimate. And the ultimate is nothing but Ramchandra in human form. But Ramchandra says, Main insan hu, Bhai Sahib to some of us, Appa to some of us, Rao Sahib to some of us, Sir to some of us, Beloved to some of us, the One to some of us, and only the One to few of us. He remained with us, and he is ours, and we belong to him, and he is Sri Raghavendra Rao Sahib. And with him, at his house, in his company, every one of us is witness to those things and to those times of all times, and also the times to come, times unknown also got experienced. In his presence, when one of our brother passed a comment, and when I shared about the comment with him, about Jesus Christ, Prophet Muhammad Shib, in one go he said in Kannada language, that, Avaru devaru agi hogidhare, avara bag navu mathanadalu hege sadhya. While hearing from me that comment, his facial expression is of deep hurt and pain. A kind of anguish was visible, and at one occasion he mentioned, Navu, Namma Hiriyari Ji Maryada Kodaliya, Mathe Yaru Kodabeku, Yake Kodathe. And once I asked him about idol worship, stating that, in Islam, it is forbidden. Why? He said no. Even Shri Babuji Maharaj had given me the idol of Shri Lalaji Maharaj to tie at the entrance of Raichur Ashram, and he continued the dialogue in Kannada, Atana Swarupa. Prati, Kalla Kakurannu, Pire, Pishachi Galanu, Devwa Galanu Odustada, Avaranu Nodi Avu Odi Hogdave. Mathe, Vamana Avathardalli Vaman Devaru, Vaman Brihat Rupa Vadaga, Ondu pada puri nalli ittu. Mathondu pada Middle East nalli ittu, Aradu pad ittaru ondu bhumi mail, Puri. Orissa. Ondu pada. Middle East nalli ittaru adu iga pavitra sthana agi hoyutu. Grand Mosque Ge. Kaddaya wagi Hajj madidavaru muttu kottu baruvavru. Madinadali Satan Ge kallu linda odadu barothari. Adala de. Abram. The founder father of the Jews, the Christianity, and the Islam, is none other than a Balarama Deva. After the great war Mahabharat, he sailed with his 7 fleet along with men, animals, food, women, children, priests, warriors, all the paraphernalia of king, accompanied him and sailed to the further west of Dwarka and settled in the Middle East, present Israel and in surrounding areas, and got mixed with the localites. Some 6,500 years ago, in same findings you can find in the Bible. In the comment of Egyptian kings and the customs of Egypt, Jews are almost similar or akin to our customs, gods, goddess, worships, etc. And he said light for long time was not emerged from that part, hence the lineage of saints of Lord Christ came in thereafter Prophet Muhammad Shib. These expressions are with ease and grace. About Manu Smriti, the one who gave the Hindu law, is the Indian Rishi from Egypt only. And India is up to Egypt and beyond, and Caspian Sea is none other than sage Kashyapa Samudra. And Kaiki is from Central Asia. Someone said that Raja Ramchandra of Ayodhya unveiling is in unchaste words, and for that his reaction is that we have no right to pass such comments in. It is imperative to give respect for those personalities, and the same thought is upheld by our government. And while drafting the Constitution of India, the Lord Rama and Lord Krishna, the fathers of Constitution, named them as national heroes, and to their virtues to be absorbed, and they have to be respected. Thus the one who spelt those above mentioned truths at this humble home, to one and all in a simple way, in plain terms spelt n number of times, without mincing a single word, that too in unequivocal terms, and my humble request to one and all to come forward and share those unique truths about the above mentioned subject matter. And as far as I am concerned, I am very seriously attempting, and with the committed sincerity and honesty, I am trying to dive deep into those years of companionship, to find those pearls of preciousness, only in order to share with you all, who are all of you, his devotees, about transmission, merging of one's self into another self. How is it possible? When it is possible? Yes, it is possible only when the transmitting self is free from mala, vikshepa and avaran, and is filled with purity, and the purpose of transmitting self is pure and selfless, and is interested in serving his master and to abide in the command of his master, and agreed to render to serve as brother in the spirit of brotherhood. Then the created mechanism of Shri Babuji Shib comes to fore and remains in action till the purpose is achieved. Occurrence of transmission takes place. The transmission is the prana to prana, pranashya pranha, and it means that what does prana do? It gives life. It produces life force in life. It purifies. It cleanses. It enriches. It sustains. It enhances. Because all those elements, mala, vikashepar and avaran, are born out of consumption of prana only, and they became they because of incorrect, wrong, in contra utilization of unrestrained, without any rhyme and rhythm, unaccounted utilization, improper utilization, immoral utilization, etc., continuously, without check, and in the fashion of unbroken chain of actions. Hence, transmission has the power of cleaning and cleansing, and those elements get subdued in controlled with the power of transmission, and transmission is the process of empowerment, and it enriches you and it fills you to brim and make you fit to action. And every power in the nature abide by this principle. With the help of spiritual science and with the medium of yogic science. With the aid and help of yogic engineering. The Master Shri Babuji Maharaj evolved a mechanism in the heart of an abhyasi to emerge the occurrence of transmission, pranasya pranha. When need found for the selfless purpose of aiding the seeking heart, in the words of him. Transmission kiya nahi jata hai, magar ho jata hai, is named as preceptor, a limited edition event to serve the sincere and honest seekers of God realization or self-realization. About meditation. The purpose of meditation is to become like the meditator, like him. And it means the me, the I, the self, should gets nullified with the process of meditation, and upon the one you meditated, replaces himself and he himself start meditating, and you remain a mere thought. By learning to do meditation and by doing proper meditation, training is essential, because in closing eyes and in silence and alone to yourself, the said process of meditation is occurring in the sphere of consciousness and effects are felt in conscience. About cleaning. To remain clean is civility, and cleanliness is next to godliness, and the civilization gets born out of cleanliness. To remain clean in thought, to remain clean in action, and to remain clean in deed is a mandatory obligation on the part of human being, and that obligation is to the humanity and mankind. Leave it alone the importance from the viewpoint of your master. Purpose and mission. And we are not talking about spirituality and spiritual practice. And that is the magnitude of the issue in general in the life of human being. The goal and purpose of cleaning in the practice is to get rid of mala, vikshepa, and avaran, and to facilitate him to meditate. Himself to meditate and to acquire befitting and proper state. In yoga, doing is only important that doing correctly. In right manner, keeping always in view the very purpose of doing, and to learn it in a systematic way. Need of the training is felt. And also as one unit, i.e. the body, with all other bodies, sthula, sukshma, and karana sharas, and annamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, anandamaya kosha, and all the physical vital organs and physical systems plus thought plus consciousness are involved in the principle of application should be sound and strong and should produce cohesion and order in the entire being, in attributes also sat, Raj and Tam. About prayer. Prayer is the medium of communion, as the saying goes, prayers go up. Blessings comes down, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent is God, as I cannot reach him. Because I am small and limited. Due to his omnipresence I am within him. Nay, in him, he can hear me howsoever feeble, howsoever inaudible, my voice and prayer may be. Hence ancient thought of wisdom assured me this, stating that my prayer certainly will be heard, when and if I offer in a befitting way in proper manner, and that is what to do is begin to learn how to offer prayer, to learn. To begin practice, to take training. Meaning of the prayer in English language is, speak to God, Shri Babuji Maharaj while issuing a certificate to an individual to impart training with the utilization of transmission, and Shri Ram Kandra Mission is Yogic Training Center. Constant remembrance. Smaran and Vikshan are the two components of constant remembrance. In the remembrance, the remembered is there, and the remembered one produced perception and feeling of his presence, and automatically my vocal cords come into action. Heart moves producing sublime, subtle waves, and emerged vibrations grip the mind, paving the pathway for one-pointedness of thought, and riveted attention upon the point specific, upon Babuji Sahib. The essence of remembered one starts oozing and permeation begins, and thereby he himself pervades my existence. To do, an abhyasi should be able to evolve love and devotion, and very subtle learning is essential. Because the mind, the unseen, unidentified element, we should take work, and the thought power to be oriented and utilized for the purpose, and that too within you and in silence. In nutshell, the above-mentioned processes affects all four states of human, physical, mental, psychic, spirit states. Hence it is advised by Sri Lalaji Maharaj to take utmost care and requested the practitioner to be alert and vigilant. Quoted similar cautions from Upanishad texts, and he further elaborated in the following paras. The sage Yajnavalkya, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, explains to his wife Maitreyi thus. 156. O Maitreyi, those who know Brahman, Ishwar, Veda, sons and Atman not with their own viewpoint but with the viewpoint of Brahman, Ishwar, Veda, sons and the Atman are destroyed by them. 157. Adi Guru Sri Lalaji Maharaj had cautioned abhyasis adoption of incorrect practices and further alerted them by giving the result of practice without knowing and adopting incorrect practices. In the following para, those who do not know the status of God in their own status, and worship God, not with their own but with God's viewpoint, to them Vishnu becomes Rudra and makes them weep. Those who do not know the status of deities in their own status, and worship the deities not with their own but with the viewpoint of deities, then the deities make them beasts of burden. Those who do not know the status, and worship the Guru not with their own but Guru's viewpoint, to them Guru becomes Satan in the form of Kal, casting of the form of a Dayalu, kind person. He swallows whatever earning the worshipper has, making him as beast. Such men have no salvation. They always remain beasts among the beasts until they experience suffering, and claim their rights of humanity by means of heartfelt sentiment. They attain this condition after a very long time. From Truth Eternal, page 55. Second edition. 1989. 158. The principle is knowledge. The elements or essence is spirit. In the words of Adi Guru Sri Lalaji Maharaj. 159. In continuation to that effect, I found certain mentionings by Lord Christ and felt that it is appropriate to present before you all for your kind perusal and consideration about that subject matter. 160. The principle of Father is the Spirit. The principle of faith is the Holy Spirit. 161. The Lord Jesus, the Christ, spells in unequivocal terms about the pardonable sins of the follower of path and unpardonable sins of follower of path. Therefore I tell you, every sin and blasphemy will be forgiven men, but the blasphemy against the Spirit will not be forgiven. And whoever says a word against the Son of Man will be forgiven, but whoever speaks against Holy Spirit will not be forgiven, either in this age or in the ages to come. 162. Either make the tree good, and its fruit good, or make the tree bad, and its fruit bad, for the tree is known by its fruit. 163. You brood of vipers, how can you speak good when you are evil? For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. The good man out of his good treasure brings forth good, and the evil man out of his evil treasure brings forth evil. 164. Prophesy of Prophet Isaiah's matured ancient wisdom comes to our rescue. In his own words from the heart of gold. Lacunas and remedies of behavior and conduction of practitioner of path. 165. You shall indeed hear but never understand, and you shall indeed see but never perceive. For this people's heart has grown dull, and their ears are heavy of hearing. and their eyes they have closed, lest they should perceive with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and turn for me to heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Truly I say to you, many prophets and righteous men longed to see what you see, and did not see it, and to hear what you hear, and did not hear it. 166. This people honors me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching us doctrines the precepts of men. 167. Then Pharisees and scribes came to Jerusalem and said, why do your disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they do not wash their hands when they eat. He answered them, and why do you transgress the commandment of God for the sake of your tradition? For God commanded, honor your father and your mother, and he who speaks evil of father or mother, let him surely die. But you say, if anyone tells his father or his mother, what you would have gained from me is given to God. You hypocrites! Well did Isaiah prophesy of you, when he said, this people honors me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching us doctrines the precepts of men. And he called the people to him and said to them, hear and understand. Not what goes into the mouth defiles a man, but what comes out of the mouth, this defiles a man. Do you not see that whatever goes into the mouth passes into the stomach, and so passes on? But what comes out of the mouth proceeds from the heart, and this defiles a man. For out of the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, fornication, theft, false witness, slander. These are what defile a man. But to eat with unwashed hands does not defile a man. The one who is one with the Brahman and lived and absorbed by the state of Brahman. What is he other than the Brahman? Nay, Brahman himself lived thereafter till his physical wailing, and the one who has the knowledge of all the times and space. Knowledge, personalities of all times. Such one what he will be after the physical wailing also, does it fit in our being as understanding, when every particle of him is divinized, and what else we can call him, other than in one word to say that, he is the divine alone. My heart is emptied, my mind left, my feelings are dried, my conscience is void, my conscience is lost. Oh, immortal! But I need to pray to rescue me, to release me. Thee I seek, thou alone is the Savior. Make befitting me, let me be proper. I know not whether thee willed that way, that I too bid adieu, but know not where to. O merciful, O benevolent, I beseech thy grace, with thy holy presence, smear me, though not me there. O Lord God, O beloved one, be with me with your benevolence, though not there. On the 19th of March 2014, at Raichur, Karnataka State, India, this writing is presented. Suresh Kumar Makam.